Hello, I'm your host, Jedi Hill. We're going to be talking about everything freedom, and today I've got a really special guest for you, Corneilous. He runs the Multifamily Deal Room. It's the Shark Tank for apartment investors. And what his real niche he's helped people do is raising capital for, apartment buildings, getting people going. Some of the hard parts, raise the money. His group did 27 million in 7 months. That's totally awesome, Corneilous, and definitely a step towards freedom. Thank you for being on the show.
Man, thank you for having me, man. I love this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Me too. And I'm the big theme of the show is we want to talk about freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And I know as a multifamily investor myself, that residual income, the monthly passive income to where you decide to sleep in with your honey, you're not out of a job.
Yeah. I think that one of the things that we kind of get caught up in this cycle of society have taught about what's freedom, and we all kind of define it differently, right? And I think that we all want to do more. I guess it's not. The funny thing is, I realized that it used to be get rich and give back. I realize a lot of people don't really want to get rich. They really want to have enough money to do what they want, whoever they want to do with, and however they want to do with. And I think that and one of the things that one of the vehicles that we've seen over time has been real estate, right? And I think a lot of us start out with single family, trying to do the fix and flip, and then under the landlord. And for myself, I know we did that opportunity, and it seemed like man, wow, it's not really freedom. It's like another full-time job. And I think understand the scalability are being able to have more doors, they say, or be able to hop in the cycle of multifamily, because you see more doors, the opportunity to give us that freedom, because of why it provides a higher level of income that we can able to use that income as a resource to do more things and do and make a better impact in this world. I'm not sure why. I still believe that we all have good inside of all of us. It's just that a matter of how to pull it out, right? I guess going through those love language challenges, my wife and so forth, and kind of our love things empty and trying to feel like we all really need love. I think even the Bible says, if you remember any commandments, all love thy neighbor, just love. And I think that was
right. And say thank you, Lord.
Yeah. So like, if anything, God love. And I think that we all have our own internal calling to do more and to do good in this world. But the thing is, like, we get shackled or bondage of like, how can I do more? How can I reach out to help more people? And I think that with so many things going on in the world about how to make money and so forth, but I think that one of the things that's been reliable has been real estate, and multifamily is like a way to do it. And I think that the way the economy is going now, I think multifamily will be. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think that it's only going to increase. I think because of the ability to buy a home, to qualify a home, is going to get less.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the banking crisis and everything we've got going on right now, you have a huge liquidity crunch, and we have a couple different ways to go, whether they turn on the money printer or not, how soon, because eventually they're going to have to. It's how much are they going to make it suffer first, because the zombie companies must die. Yes. Or they will take down the whole system, right? It's just the way it is. What's really scary for that is that's 1 in 5 businesses doesn't have the cash flow to cover the interest on their debt. Yes. That's not even interest in principal. That's just interest.
Yes.
That's a scary thought for where we're going.
And I think it's funny because like during COVID, right? I'm from South Georgia, so and right now I live in Texas as well. And I had a conversation during COVID, like after COVID, matter of fact, and it was with an older white woman. And this conversation was kind of interesting because she said, Corneilous, you know what? It's 2 ways to create a slave. I'm like this. Okay, it's one of the conversations. Let's go, right? Okay, here we go. So she said, she kind of opened my eyes to it, and I kind of agree with her. She said, well, you can pay a man without work, or you can work a man without pay. And I think that the government did that during COVID, when it's like getting all these stimulus checks and so forth. People got accustomed to not working and they got paid, and now they became a slave almost to the government or to the system because of why they feel like you owe me, like they're comfortable and so forth. So I think that so now there's jobs out there, but people don't want to work no more, or people don't have to work no more. So it's like, how do we kind of change the mindset or change this economy that we created, from just trying to give, but sometimes when you give, you're not helping, right? It's like, how do you really help in on that level?
Well, that's where people need a hand up,
Yes,
not a handout.
I think agree. I agree.
You know, that's where you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really sad because it's young men that have stepped out of the workforce most. Like during COVID, it was over 7 million men that have not re-entered the workforce.
Oh man, you gotta, yeah, that's a whole nother topic. You know, being a man altogether is one fight itself, right? It's like people, some people say, some say, hey, I stopped being a man. Some people gave up trying to be a man, went another route, right? You know, being a man itself and trying to be a leader, a father, a husband, and so many roles you gotta play. And like saying, you say like even like business owner, right? So like, and when do people actually learn the concept of business, right? The concept of selling, marketing, of fulfillment, and so forth, because of that's alone is so many aspects. Like, because you saying like a lot of businesses don't have the cash flow. Some people like some places I might is how y'all actually are still in business, or how y'all are in business. I know myself, every time I go out to eat, I'm always thinking about this, how can I make the business better? Like, how can I will do this, I'll do this, but not everybody have those things that you think is obvious. But because of people never taught those skills, I think, hey, if you can cook good, you should have an open restaurant. It's not really true. Not really true. If you're a good cook, be a good cook. Not everybody need an open restaurant, because now you open a restaurant, now you're a manager. You're not a cook no more, right? There's a whole different open skill set that you need to learn. And I think that that's where it's gonna be interesting just to see how this kind of gonna change for our business so forth, because of what's truly a business if you don't really, cause like I think like even saying studies show like there's millions of business only have one employee, because why? They're not sure how to manage other employees, right? So like, are you a true business if you don't have one employee, or you and yourself?
See, I here in real estate, of course, I hire a lot of 1099, so I don't have no employees.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we'll hire a contractor to fix this room, do this, do the roof, do whatever, but still don't have any employees. So it's still a business of one.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's the way to look at it.
I think, but also with one family, you understand, like on bigger scale, like we in the business of creating jobs, because of, you know, we have a property manager, we have maintenance, we have like I said, somebody cut the lawn, we have somebody to do laundry, so like, we have somebody take out our trash, right? We have we servicing the people servicing our cable. So it's like we're doing true community development. By why? Because apartment building or multifamily is serving so many people out there. Then now I think about the people that our residents of our properties, they're dry cleaners, they're hair salons, right? The money that comes in from them, the money that they put out. So like we're actually helping the economy, stimulate the economy by internally. As I feel like multifamily is a true community development opportunity, because of you're changing communities of that community.
Oh yeah, and you can raise up the quality of communities. Like I know with one we bought in a small little town, you know, we had 2 years to clean out the riffraff and bring in better tenants, and you can see like a different self. The properties around start looking prettier, everything else, you know, you clean up one and the neighbors keep up with the Joneses thing. You know, we lead by example.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I do agree with that.
And it's such a fun thing with the multifamily. Like I'm also looking at marinas now myself, because we're approaching freedom. I don't know if you've seen my New Atlantis project yet. You know,
No, tell me more about it.
The New Atlantis project is actually working on building man-made floating islands in the middle of the ocean. So I've designed blocks here. You see behind me, these are the EEZ, which is the exclusive economic zone around different countries from the International Law of the Sea in 1982. So anywhere outside of those is international waters. So if you have a big enough floating structure, you can declare it a free independent country. Now we have tax-free, no government red tape, and we can actually build and see what a free market society could do.
It's interesting because I know, like, I was always intrigued about the whole Dubai palm trees and so forth, about that as well. I think now Philippines is doing that as well now.
And China's building military bases.
Yeah.
But the way they're doing theirs is they're just destroying the nearby coral and stuff and dredging up and piling the sand in a shallow area.
Yeah.
Well, they can only build out so far because it gets way deeper very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Where when you have floating structures, it doesn't matter how deep the water gets.
Yeah. Mm.
Like we build deeper into the water means we can build higher above the water.
Mm. Interesting. Yeah, man. I love more. I need to follow you more, more about that. I'm intrigued.
Totally. I'll send you some videos on that one after, but that's why I'm looking at the marinas to get freedom. You know, we get groups of sailors that want to be more free because they understand not wanting to deal with government red tape and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love the multifamily phase. Like imagine what we could build and how much cheaper it'd be to build if you didn't have building codes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not saying build cheap paper thin walls or anything, but just the bureaucracy and the amount of permits and things. Like in a typical single family home, it's almost a third the price.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the stuff going to the government. It's like, so the homes are too affordable. Why don't we just get rid of the taxes and make it a lot cheaper?
Yeah, it's that balance of freedom and security, right? I'm like saying like being in the military and trying to serve, like freedom is not free, right? Like how do you where's the like maximum security is no freedom, right? Maximum freedom is no security. So it's like how did you find this spectrum of where the fine point at? So I do agree with you.
Well, and that's good how you comment that freedom isn't free.
Mm-hmm.
It takes discipline, personal responsibility, because ain't nobody gonna save you.
Yes.
It's on you to save yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so going back to your earlier, for you guys raised 27 million in 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
Want to tell us a little more about your platform and what you're doing for people for that to help them develop their financial freedom?
So so one of the things that like I started a space like many people trying to I bought a, so my story kind of started by like a couple years ago. I found myself in a position that I was surprised in. I kind of would look in the mirror and ask myself like, man, how did I get here? Right. I didn't like my job. My marriage wasn't going the way it was going. I feel like I wasn't there for my kids. I feel like I feel like I really didn't know what to do. I was stuck. And I say I went to my 2 favorite G's. I went to God, and God sent me to Google. And I started Googling like trying to find out like financial freedom, like you like this financial freedom so for like how people get financial freedom like that they hear about. Like I tried flipping houses, I was wholesaling properties, I would try different things, but it seemed like it wasn't getting that freedom I'm looking for. And I think my wife came across this thing about financial freedom and multifamily investing. Yeah, and thought and got and Prof was like, okay, guys, we'll go to a course, but we're not buying nothing, right? We're gonna take all the information we know and bring it back to the information that we got. So and I remember going to that course, and it's like I remember like the first day it was fun and so forth. Second day was kind of cool. Everybody, third day, everybody knew it. Everybody, it's like everybody would have high five and have a good time. And I remember like the moment came where the guy was gonna come do his pitch. I'm like this, okay, here it comes, right? And he started talking about what's going on. I said, okay, I see how it's done. It seems simple, okay. Then it said, they said, okay, well, this person did, this person did. Like, okay, I gotcha. I can see, okay, she did it, then I know I can do it too, right? And I say, okay, hold on, God. Before you say anything, show me a sign. Show me a sign that's for me and so forth, right? And the guy said, you can have all this for this price here. And I said, thank you, God. It's my sign because that price is not for me. And I said, and I started laughing so forth. But I remember looking over my wife, and she was just crying, and like she was crying like this ball because she like this. She said, "It's just the one. It's just the one that kind of gives that friend of freedom." Like we went through so many different things. Like when we ever get a chance to live our life, right? Like we would list of when's our moment, and I was like this. So I kind of took outside, trying to be a man, take outside, like trying to talk to her and so forth, right? Then I went to the so then after I talked for a while, we kind of talked for a while. So I went to the guy and said, hey man, listen, do y'all like we don't have the price for the diamond price, the diamond package. Like, do you have another package out there? Payment plan, what have you, right? And he said, well, Corneilous, let me for a minute. He said, well, we do have a gold package. I said, a gold package? He said, oh, real gold package? Yeah, I said, a gold package, you can get it for. He said, well, how much can you put down? I said, well, I look at my account and say, well, I gave him a price. I said, well, can you this price negotiate on price so forth? They said, well, okay, gotcha. I can get a gold price for this price here. And it was like a little more. So I said, gotcha. Well, I gave him all my money, all cash I had at the time, and it was a good significant. He said, great. Swipe on my debit card. And came out the back with a box of books. I'm like this. Books? Like dude, like I paid money for some books like this. I think, gotcha, no problem. I got a box. and I put in the car. I put in the car like this, like they I bought money for some books, like something. But what happened was when I went, so it's funny because of I realized at that moment right then, like I say, because of people who pay attention, right? And people, the more you pay, the more attention you pay, right? So I feel like I pay a lot for those books. Like it took a lot out of me to pay for those books because we just like cash foundation now just have to work. And I went through like all the manuals, went through all of the program, and went to the whole system, right? And it seemed very simple. First, you find a property, underwrite it, make sure the numbers work, then you raise capital. Great, sounds simple. 1, 2, 3, let's go. So I
Sounds simple.
Yeah, it sounds simple. So I said, great, let's do it. So I spent weeks, I spent weeks, even months, meeting brokers, meeting sellers, trying to find the right deal. Then I spent hours with spreadsheets, software, trying to underwrite these deals and so forth. And then what happened was I finally got a deal on a contract, right? From doing all that. So then like they got you now. What now? Raise capital. So now I call my sponsor, my coach at the time. Hey, no problem all. He's a sponsor here. Call the people here. We sponsor the deal, so forth. No problem all. So I was like, great, about to happen. So I'm going to meetup groups. Going everywhere, going as my family friend, trying to raise capital for everything, right? Then at the last moment, my sponsor said, well, Corneilous, this is not a good deal. I'm out. And at the time, I said, oh, shucks, what happened now, right? And what happened is I had to cancel my contract because I couldn't raise capital in time. And then I had canceled my contract. My broker stopped calling me, and I felt like a failure. Like dang, like dude, like I did what did I do wrong? I did all the stuff I thought was right. What I do wrong, right? And I felt like a true failure. Like I paid the money, I did pro something, and here I am, feel like a true failure. And I remember one day I was sitting there through Facebook, trying to scroll, trying to numb the pain, like find something out there funny, something like that, something get my mind off of what this thing that happened. And came across this post, and post said, this post said like, I came to the country a couple years ago, barely speaking English, and now we're closing on like 3,000 unit portfolio. I'm like this, well, who is this guy, right? Like, so then I clicked the profile, and like he'll close like a new deal like every other month, like big deals. I said, gotcha. He had one link like, hey, you want to learn real estate? Hop my link. So I hop on his link and so forth, trying to see what you talk about, right? Because he wasn't a coach. So I say, gotcha. So I remember at the day of the call, I'm so excited about this call because I'm about to get the goods. And the first thing he say is, so Corneilous, what do you do? I'm like, this dude, what do I do? Man, listen here. I'm good at finding properties. I got on the list. I'm a real estate agent. I'm good at finding properties and so forth. Then I got underwriting software that I can pull comps. I can underwrite very fast and so forth. And matter of fact, I got a pipeline of deals I can raise capital on over here, right? And he said, huh, like he wasn't impressed. I'm like this, huh, like what do you do? And he said, well, Corneilous, you have to understand is real estate is a team sport. Find something you like, become good at that, and you partner with those who are good at what they do. And at the moment, like one of them Batman style, like I knew it, but I wasn't doing it. And in that moment, like I said, okay, forget it. Forget all the stuff. I'm focused on one thing. And one thing I struggled at was raising capital. So I went deep and trying to figure out how to raise capital or how raise capital. And I realized that a lot of stuff was not really about raising capital. It's really a lot. I think raising capital have two parts to it. That you have the attracting people in the front end, get people on your list. Then you have then you have the securing capital, get people to actually give you money for your deal, right? So I had to build my list up. I didn't have a list, and a lot of times when people fail is they what I failed at was I got a deal, I went straight to securing capital. I never tried to attract people before. I didn't have a list at all. I had a deal, and I think a lot of people fail that because a lot of people focus on getting a deal first, but I can find the money first. So I said, well, how can I build a list of people? And what happened was, it was like, well, how to become a marketer, how to do this. So I started doing virtual events because COVID was going. Like people had podcasts, meetup groups. I said, well, I do virtual events. So I did virtual events. And so I bringing people in. My virtual events. My first event was called like Apartment Business Secrets, right? And I had a panel of summits, people of just bringing people talking about their deals, so forth, talking about apartment investing. Then I had an event in time period. I went to an event called Apartment Shark Tank for apartment investing, right? So I liked it because it was kind of cool. I like Shark Tank. That was a cool idea, but it was live. I said, well, how can I do it live? So I did it live. So I did a virtual event from on my own platform. I thought it was cool. A girl came on, presented her deal, and like somebody in the audience like, hey, I like this deal, and actually linked up with her and invest some money with her. So like in a 15-minute pitch, she got like $50,000 just from my opinion like this. Wow, I made connection like, wow, that was pretty simple. Like she made $50,000 in 20-minute pitch. That was pretty cool, right? So I thought, so I said, well, how can I do this more? So I did it often. I did it again. And then I said, well, people like so I think the last year we kind of did it. I said, well, look, I'm going all in. I'm gonna do it every month and see what it takes me at, right? Just go all in and see what happens. So I went all in and we did it every month. And what happened is the audience started growing. And we said, well, we don't want to be called Shark Tank. How can we call something different? So we call ourselves Shark Pool, right? Shark Pool, Shark Tank, so forth, right? So we thought it was cool. So we did that. And from that, people started growing. We have like 130 people on a Zoom call every weekend. Like every week, every Thursday, we have like 130, 160 people coming faithfully, right? And people started doing deals from the platform and people started leveraging. So what happens is, so I started changing my shark panel out, and people, I start getting emails from other passive investors and say, hey, syndicator, if I will invest in your deal if you go to Corneilous' show first to evaluate deals. So people use my show to determine which deal to invest in. I'm like, this, wow, that is powerful. That the fact that they're using people who are more experienced than them learn to what best to invest in. So what happens is I say, well, great. How can I do more of this? Because of what happened was, because of people. I realized that people, like all the majority of deals require either you be a credit investor because of a big platform, or it requires a large lump sum for you investing in, like $50,000 to $100,000, right? And most people, the average credit investor probably make $200,000 a year, right? So that means that they don't have $100,000, $50,000 to give every week on every deal. They probably have like once every 3 years or once every 2 years, so forth, right? Or once every deal. So we say, well, how can we actually have people still play the game of investing? So how can we invest with smaller increments and so forth? So we create a fund and allow people to invest smaller amounts into it, so that way they don't have to put their whole. So you make $100,000 split up 5 different ways, but still play the game of investing, because people want to invest and want to learn how to invest. So
well, and that's, apologies for the interruption, but it was really cool how you created the connections back and forth. So you're bringing people that got deals, and you can bring people that got money, and it just keeps rotating and cycling through.
Yeah, I think it because I think that like Steve Jobs said, like you have to connect dots looking backwards, because before I thought that my ideal for me, but now it's like now I do more of a fund to fund. I'm a connection guy. You got a deal, I got the fund. How can I connect the two together? And I realized that being, as you know, Zig say, helping other people get what they want, you get what you want. So it's like I'm trying to help more people now get funding, so forth. And so now it changes a little more. So now the iteration changed a little more. So now I realize that even if I may have 100 people, I have 100 people on the channel, so forth, or on a given night, right? Maybe half of those may be accredited investors. So I mean, the half of those can't invest in the deal already, right? Then the part that is also our credit, not willing to give some their money to somebody else's deal. So it will be GP and so forth. So now we're coming up with our crowdfunding portal that allows anyone can invest in the deal that's being presented, right? Well, anyone above 18, right, legally 18 can invest in smaller increments up to 5 million to get a deal done. So now, now it's growing to become a true platform. That way people can gain financial freedom. Because I think that you said earlier about the financial freedom, like we have a full-time job, and it takes time and energy to be successful in multifamily, right? It takes time to find a good deal. Take time to analyze. Take time to know. Like example, like it's a time for you to figure out where the areas of the marina at, right? It takes time and energy to do it, on top of having a full-time job, being a husband, being a father, being trying to take care of our health, right? It's a full-time job. So it's like we really just want to, how can we fast forward at that time period, right? And now with technology and so forth, we're leveraging that, trying to speed up time. So I think the platform allows you to sit back and not to be an expert, but allows you to see what people 10 years ahead of you. Like we don't have a time machine yet that I know of, right? So we all say that I wish I would know now that I know 10 years ago, right? But we don't right now. But so the question is, how do we get that? And I think the best way is find somebody who's 10 years ahead of you, right? So I think the platform allows you to sit back and watch people who 10 years ahead of you or more, how they will invest. And you can model and mimic what they do, or you invest with them along with their investing. So the platform has kind of, it's evolving so that it's long. So that's what we at right now.
That's gonna be pretty cool to see where that goes, because that could become a huge platform over time.
Yeah.
Now, Cornelius, I make sure so we don't forget, what's the best way people can get a hold of you?
So right now, it is, you go to multifamilydealroom.com, That's the best way to reach me at Multifamily Deal Room. I'm there. So far, I'm there every Thursday. I'm the one pitching. I'm the host of it right now. I'm the host, but on the back end, I'm the fund manager of it. So I'm the one who actually manage one of the funds that actually the fund go to. So because I never thought I'd be a fund manager. I mean, the process be a fund manager. I thought I'd be a syndicator, but now I'm a fund manager.
Which is kind of fun because doesn't everybody want to be playing the banker?
I think because of and it's funny because of we're taught the whole Robert Kiyosaki, the whole EIB, the whole employee, self-employed, business owner, investor, the whole quadrant of what's the name, right? And I think that we all start at employee area, then we come to self-employed, so forth. But we all want to be an investor. We all want to be at a point where our money work for us, right? We all want to sit back and say, hey, I put $1 in, I get $2 back out. Great. We all want to do that all day long. I think that's what we all want to do. Why? Because now we can use that resources and do what we want to do for fun, right? We want to say, I want to do this, even though I don't get paid for it. I want to do this, be able to, but I still be able to provide for my family. But I want to do this and actually be able to do something that I feel called to do, right?
I like it. And with the housing, you're providing better quality. You mentioned you're in the B areas. You're looking for value adds that you can improve the level of the housing for the people.
Yes. Yeah, and right, and also I think that it gives you an opportunity because of, as investors, I think that we evolve over time because as you see, like some people may start out in D class property or value add, but sometimes they know I want to go A class properties where I might worry about the appreciation, I'm worried about the cash flow. So it's like as time changes, you change it as an investor. So I mean, like every deal, I think like it's really true. Like what I had to understand, like deals are created. Right, it's like a broker in your deal. You like say, well, this deal work at this number here, or your price, my terms, or my terms, your price. So it's like you have to create deals, and I realize that that's true. That's how deals get done. And I think a lot of people don't really fully embrace that, like because not every deal is for you because of you got to create it. It's not gonna say, hey, broker in your deal, hey, this is the deal's number 8. It haven't happened to me. I'm pretty sure it happened to some people out there, but it haven't happened to me at all. I had to fine tune, wiggle and niggle some things because of making work for us. I think that that's where people fail it because of if you don't understand where the money coming from, it's like you're shopping without not understanding your card is going through, right? It's like you're going to a bank.
You don't have a budget.
Correct. Exactly. Like you go to you find out properties, but you have no idea who's going to invest with you. So it's like going to a grocery store and not sure how much money in the bank. I hope this card go through.
Well, that's how I look at the single family housing. It's pure speculation. You might as well be going to the gambling casino, seeing whether it's going to be going up and down or value.
Yes.
And now we're about to go into a decade of negative appreciation. So if you're not cash flowing, you're SOL.
But and also single family, it's like you can't, like if you put $1 million in your house and let's say you're renting your house for $1 million a month. And everybody on the street get divorced and it fast sale, what happens? You'll probably still get depreciated faster, right? Even though you cash for $1 million a month, it's still worth what, $1,000 because of why everybody else got sold it for $1,000. So it's like, right? Your property is basically sold by, is valued by what other people are doing, emotional buying. But
right, where the multifamily, especially once you get the 5 or more units, so it's commercial for people. It really is based off the cash flow.
And I think that it's about freedom earlier. I think that's part of freedom as well, is knowledge, because of so much stuff that we don't know, right? So freedom kind of come with knowledge. Like I didn't know this stuff. If I haven't known this earlier, like that's freedom of the ability of just knowing. Like today, I didn't like the freedom of like the land freedom. I thought we were landlocked. Like, dude, like now all this ocean now, like the floating still like this, dude. What's next? I can imagine this in 10 years from now, 20 years from now, right?
Elon's trying to go to Mars.
Yeah. So I mean, but you're here in all this ocean we got trying to build land like this, dude. Like imagine being able to drive from here to Africa, right? To be able to drive.
Potentially we could build bridges and trains to go across that.
Yeah, be in Paris, you could. So I mean, so it's possible. Because what you're saying now is floating land. What's stopping us there?
Oh yeah, there's an infinite number of possibilities, and that's where our creative energy comes into play. What sets us apart from the computers and from the animals
Yeah.
is what we get
Right
to
now,
do here.
right now, right now, right? As of right now. Yeah,
Well,
I think so. I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you.
well, even in eventually, you're going to find the creativity is what keeps some humans still working,
Correct. Exactly.
as the AI does everything. Like anything that can be done as like a mindless drone, like an ant,
Yeah.
can be done with a computer.
Yeah.
McDonald's just opened their first one in Denver that's completely automated.
Really?
So the cooks, the tellers, everything else, not a single person working.
Cause like one day they say that they will open one here in Fort Worth, like in Dallas Fort Worth. I remember I woke up early to drive to go see that thing. I mean, I don't eat McDonald's, but I was excited to go to McDonald's to order me a McMuffin because I want to see it work. And I got there, and the girl said, "Can I take your order?" I'm like this. Oh man, it's actually a person here. I was actually mad because the person actually to my phone like this. Oh man, but yeah, but we've been seeing it for years. Self checkout, like Walmart don't have cashiers no more. So like it's ATM bank tellers. We've been seeing it for, like car washes. We've been seeing it for years. So it's coming. But even like now, like they're hiring like people who like they call them like what they call them like GPT like prompt engineers. People who actually can talk to like translate computer language so forth. Like they get paid like $350,000 just be able to know how to put the right prompts in to get what you want out. I mean, so
and that's actually kind of really cool when you think about it, because they're getting masses of people to be programming the AI.
Yeah.
I don't personally think it's sentient yet, but give it another decade or two, it very well could get there.
Yeah.
But my computer background is like I played with DOS back in the late 80s, where all you had was a keyboard and a black screen. You didn't even have a mouse. So I understand where the coding and the potential of this can really go. And it can either be complete freedom from people from doing daily labor.
Yes.
So we can just work on our creative pursuits. Or it could be complete enslavement when you look at like the China, the social credit system, and what they're trying to do with the CBDCs here in America.
Yes.
And that's where people like us, they're trying to micromanage multifamily housing, the Biden administration is.
Yes. Yes. I think it's interesting to see where we go with it. I'm looking forward to it. Because like you gotta embrace change regardless. You have to embrace change. You can't fight it. You gotta embrace it.
Oh yeah. Well, and the secret of change is to, stop fighting the old and focus on the new and where you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see a tidal wave going, you just go for higher ground. You don't try and fight the tidal wave, go for higher ground.
I do agree.
Well, thank you so much, Cornelius. And again, what's the best way for people to?
So like I said, multifamilydealroom.com. Multifamilydealroom.com. We be there. It's a free event. We're there every Friday. You come there to learn how to like it's Shark Tank for Shark. I mean, I won't keep saying Shark Tank because it won't come after me, but it's okay. It's like Shark Tank, but for part investing. Afterwards, we do a networking. Like I said, our goal is to kind of connect people with the right people and the right resources, and that's how we do deals. So we're looking to
and everybody make sure you like and subscribe to the Jedi Hill channel.
Yes.
May the force be with you. Peace.